This video will be a tutorial on how to use layer styles. Now, layer styles are different things that you do on a layer that you can use to copy those same attributes to other objects. I'll kind of explain as I go along. What we're going to do is we're going to use several photographs. I'm going to open one here. And I'm going to use this photograph as my background. And I'm going to put everything on top of it. Okay, I'm going to go to File. And instead of going Open, I'm going to go to Place. And I'm going to place several other photographs onto this one. Basically, I'm importing those in instead of opening. Okay, it's going to show me that photograph, and as you can see, there's this X pattern, and it looks like it needs to be transformed. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold Shift and Alt. I'm going to grab one of the corners, and I'm going to transform this in, and I can move it where I want. I'll move it again here. That's going to be big enough. And then once I've made that, got it the size that I want, then I'll go ahead and click the check mark up here, or enter on your keyboard. And now that's there. Now, one thing to notice is that when I place things into my composition, it creates automatically, when I push enter, it makes a smart object. And a smart object will allow you to go in and resize and do things to your thing, your object that you've brought in without being destructive to it. So I can bring this to any size that I want, up and down, and I'm not going to lose any pixels in my composition. Okay, what I want to do on this picture is I want to go to the top layer and I want to add a layer mask to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of make a frame around this. Now I'm using a custom brush that I have here, and I've loaded black, so I'm just going to go here and just start making a pattern. You can see I can just start eating away at that. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger in places, just so that it's kind of a random kind of a pattern. And what I'm doing is on my pressure sensitive tablet, I am changing the size of it on the fly. If you don't have a tablet, you'll have to go up here and change the size of it this way, or easier way of doing that is to use your open and close bracket, square bracket, and that will give you an easier way of resizing your brush. Okay, I have just about got what I'm looking for here, maybe a little bit bigger there. Just kind of a rough border around this. Okay, now that I have this border, one of the things that I want to do is I want to be able to go in and check my mask and make sure I don't have anything out here on the outside that I don't want. And a good way of doing that is just to hold the Alt on your keyboard and click on your layer mask. And you can see the areas that you actually have that are open. Now I'm just going to go in here and just scribble along the edges because I want that to be pretty opaque. Now you can do this with any brush. I could go up here and I could grab one of the default brushes, soft brushes, and then just paint that in. It does not matter. Just find a way of getting that extra stuff off of there so that it doesn't show up unexpectedly. And to get it back to the regular view, I just hold Alt again and click on the layer mask, and that's what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to push V on my keyboard for my move tool here, and I can move that around in my composition where I want it. And I see here there are some little parts of her shirt on that shell that I don't want. So I'm going to go back to my layer mask with my brush, and I'm just going to paint those out. Just don't want those little spots on the shell there in the background. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Zoom out by holding the Alt while I click on the mouse, or in my case on the tablet. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to want to do is bring in some other photographs that I would like in my composition. So I'll go to File, and again I'll go to Place, and I'll grab another photograph. I'll say Place. There's a little bird there. I'm going to hold Alt and Shift to make that the size that I want. Move it over here, and when I move out to the very edge here, you can see there's a straight line and then it goes to curves. I can grab that and I can tilt that. Alright, and I'm going to go here to the edge, make that a little smaller, and move that into place, and hit enter on my keyboard. Alright, that's good there. I'm going to go get another one. File, Place. I'll grab this little bird here, and I'll do the same thing. Shift Alt, bring that in, bring it over. I'm going to tilt it a little bit the opposite way, like that. And it's okay to take this off of the composition. So if I want to make this a little bit larger, I can still go in there and do that. So enter on my keyboard again, get another one. File, Place, one more picture. I'm going to bring that one in, and I'm going to resize it with Alt and Shift. Put it in this corner and tilt it that way. Maybe pull that off and just shift that time because I'm going one direction, and say OK. All right. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some simple text that we need on here. I'll go to my text tool. I'll click on my composition. I see that's going to be in black. That's perfectly fine. And I'm going to type in Tybee. That was the name of the place that this vacation pictures were taken at. I'm going to say OK with that. And I'm going to make another text layer by just using the text tool and clicking on the composition, and I'm going to type island. Okay. One more text tool after I say OK. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to type in Savannah, Georgia. All right. Actually, I'm going to put a little comma in there. All right, that's good. Then I'll say OK. All right. In the next video, we're going to go in and start using some effects on all of the different elements that I've brought into my composition.